So the point of this lesson is we're going to try and design a cooling pack using chemical reactions.
Few things can be as stressful in teaching as having one of your lessons observed.
Okay, off you go.
And you may feel tempted to put on an over-the-top performance, whether you're being visited by Ofsted or your own head teacher.
Sometimes observations can feel like your professionalism is on trial. But if you speak to senior leaders or inspectors, they're not interested in a one-person show. What they really want to see is how much progress students make. That's the focus.
So let's focus on two things: your teaching style and your pupils' progress. First, teaching style.
What one word, ready to catch, would you use to describe the picture?
I would describe it
What's
as
the single best teaching style for impressing an observer? The answer is, there isn't one. When the TES quizzed multiple school inspectors about the best style of teaching, they all stressed that they just wanted to see teachers be themselves. You might dismiss that as a platitude, but if you suddenly try to teach in a totally different manner to the way you do normally, that's when you're going to come unstuck, and your pupils will be confused as well. These teachers are all clearly comfortable with their own style.
Some teachers are brilliant at creating engaging relationships with their learners. Others start from being really passionate about their subject. You need to go with what's right for you, and that includes choosing the teaching methods that fit the particular content that you're delivering. It's what inspectors say as well.
Too often, teachers are told to plan lessons in a particular way, or even adopt a specific way of teaching, because that's what Ofsted wants. Well, it usually isn't.
What you're going to do is you're going to try and design an instant ice pack or a cooling pack to help deal with this problem.
What inspectors do want to see are teachers who can adapt, so don't be afraid to go off your lesson plan.
To your instant ice
A good lesson observer will care less about ticking off a list and far more about the progress your learners make. A few years ago, I was observing a colleague teach. They were just starting out in the profession, and I was mentoring them for a few months while they were on placement in my school.
The lesson was very interesting, but like a lot of student-teacher lessons, the focus was on their own teaching rather than the students' learning. And this is something that happens to all of us quite naturally at the start of our careers.
That observation really drove home to me the absolute importance of planning a lesson and then walking through it as if you were a student, all the time analysing what you are asking pupils to do and how this will help them to make progress. Better still, when you're at the planning stage, think through the lesson from the perspective of 3 different students, one at the top end, one in the middle, and one at the lower end. Ask yourself what they will be doing at every point of the lesson and how this will be helping them to make progress. If you spot any gaps, sags or lulls, change things.
Okay, you can do this in your partners. Write this down on your sheets. You can write it on this side. Okay, 3 hazards, you think, and 3 safety tips.
You're going to need to keep that focus going on learners' progress.
That's chlorine. You might have it on a Friday with your chips. Salt. So do you think potassium chloride is going to be as hazardous if it's... Okay, that's why it's a low hazard.
You should aim to regularly assess where students are at, using this information to decide whether to move on, offer tailored support to individuals, or increase the level of challenge. Now, you know how I said earlier that you don't need to put on a song and dance show for the observer? What you can do, however, is draw attention to what you're doing.
Okay, remember, you're going to add your first substance, which is actually a liquid.
If they've missed the bit where you've described the lesson objective, for instance, repeat it. Help the observer to do their job.
So you need to do your difference to actually find out. Oh, sorry. Okay.
I remember the first time I was observed in the classroom. There were 20 other people in the room, as well as the students. I was doing my PGCE, and it was the other student teachers, along with the course tutor and the classroom teacher. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But my question to you is this: what is the single biggest difficulty teachers face when they're being observed? And how would you overcome it?